Drew D. What's up, dog?
What's up, bro?
Bro, tell everybody where you're at right now.
I am in Santa Monica right now.
Dude, you poor thing, bro. You poor thing. It's probably, and tell me what the temperature was right before. What are we looking at?
It's like high 70s. Little breeze. You know,
Little breeze, perfect weather, beautiful homes around. Like, dude, what a life, man. I love it. No, guys. So we got Drew, Danielle. Do you say it like that? Danielle or Danielle?
Danielle.
Danielle. Okay. So we got Drew Danielle on the line here. He is young guy. I'm gonna let him share a lot of that, but he just finished college. Literally 2 months ago?
Yeah, month and a half, 2 months.
Month and a half, 2 months ago. He's got the piece of paper. How much did you pay for that piece of paper, bro? I'm curious. Like all in, start to finish, how much did that damn thing cost you? Don't lie to me, bro. You don't have to include rumor board textbooks. I just want to know. By the way, I'll keep all the cursing to a minimum because I don't want anyone getting in trouble. So
probably, over 150.
Okay. Over 150. I love that, bro. Yeah. That's actually a discount. That sounds like you got a discounted rate. So congratulations. You spent 150, and where'd you go to college at, by the way?
CU Boulder, Colorado.
So he's in Boulder, Colorado, dude. So basically, like for 4 years, you just smoked weed, right?
Here and there,
I'm just kidding, bro. I have to, such a dumb joke, but people in Colorado, you have to, right? Shout out to all my Colorado people. Dude, so here's what I want to talk about and what I want to share. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, like when you jumped into this, what made you jump into all that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about today is why you are pursuing this, even though you have that piece of paper. You checked the box, you did the thing. For those of you that haven't seen some of our other calls, we did one a couple of weeks ago. And we were with Jordan over in DC, and he's literally doing the American dream, right? He did the thing. He went to college. He got the job. He had the 2.2 kids and the dog and the house and the thing. And he's freaking just absolutely miserable. And so I love that you're like, look, I got the piece of paper. Cool. But I see the writing on the wall. So before we get into that, so tell everyone how old you are again.
I'm 22.
He's 22. He's stroking that beard because he's like, bro, I look a little bit older. No, you're 22, bro. You're young, which is awesome.
Just for the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
I look 19 without it. So
just to look older, he kept the stubble. So when did you first, how long ago did you hear, how many months ago did you hear about this thing called rank and rent, which, by the way, that's a dumb name. It's called rent, then rank. Let's go, dog. But how long ago?
Sure.
No, dude, not sure. Come on, bro.
I said yes, sir. That's what
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just messing.
Early January. So
this January.
This January, yeah, December.
And if I'm not mistaken, the way that you kind of got your feet wet, you scooped up a couple Udemy courses. Is that how you say it? Is it Udemy?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I had Udemy courses. The first time I saw it was I wanted to try to make money online, and the other group, the head guy, reviews all the make money online courses. I was super close to buying a social media marketing agency, mastermind course, and then I saw his review on it they're doing rank and rent, so I'll call it that. And then I was like, this is dope, but I knew it was expensive. I didn't want to pay for it. So I just bought this Udemy course and this Paul James course.
Shout out to Paul James for wherever he's at. I mean, whatever he did, it got him here. So thanks for sharing the cheap course.
His course, you shouldn't shout it out.
Okay. We'll cut that out. We'll edit that out.
No. His backlinking part of the section was a Facebook profile and a Yelp profile. That was it.
Got it. Well, what you get what you pay for, bro. It's all good. So anyway, you got that, kind of got your feet wet to understand the concept. Maybe not the most sound technical stuff, but you got your feet wet, right? So what attracted you to rank and rent? Like, because you're in college at this point, right? So it's not like a lot of us that have kids and all this different stuff, and like maybe they've had jobs. Like everyone's like, I'm so tired of my job. I just want to like, get my time back. You were in college, like living the college life. I'm impressed that you have the foresight to like be thinking that far ahead. I guess my question is like, what attracted you to rank and rent as a 22-year-old kid with, I mean, for all intents and purposes, no obligations, no responsibilities. I don't know, unless you have kids running around, I'm not aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like what attracted you to that at 22 years old when you haven't gone through the pain of the corporate 9 to 5? What was it for you?
So, I mean, what's kind of started it was I had this internship at a insurance brokerage firm last summer. I was like, wow, I was at a cubicle. I was like, this kind of sucks. And then like my whole life, I didn't really like think I thought you went to college, got 9 to 5, and you tried to work your way up a company and, American dream. Like eventually, 401k, make, you get a family, and that's what you do. And then, it hit me when I had that internship, like, wow, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And so I ended up, looking more into money, and then I was reading some books, and I read Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco.
Shout out to MJ, bro. I love that book. Love that book.
Yeah. And that was like, the red pill. I always thought like the only way to make a lot of money or like get rich was like you're an athlete or you like invent something, but like you just got to, become a creator. And then so that's what happened when I saw rank and rent, and I thought, you own the assets, the time that you buy so much time back. And the only way to like make a lot of money is to own assets and, be a creator, create the leads. And, it checks all the boxes, like you say, rent and rank. So that's what attracted me to it.
Hey, if you say rank and rent, I'm not going to be mad. I'm just kidding. But no, I know what you mean. So for you, it was like, and by the way, if I remember, because it's been probably like 5, maybe even 7 years since I've read that book, but I'm pretty sure like the thing that he did, MJ DeMarco, is he basically created a lead gen site. It was like a limo lead gen site, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. For limos.
However, he messed it up because he was doing pay-per lead. Come on, MJ. Come on, bro. But he that was like OG freaking pay-per lead when it was like a different ball game. But anyway, it's crazy because I remember like when I got into this and I'm like, oh, dude, that's like exactly what he did. I remember reading that book going, dude, I got to find something like that. And the biggest thing that clicked for me with that book is like, I have to separate my time from my money, right? And until I get something where I can leverage the internet, where I can infinitely scale, I cannot separate my time and money. Because at the time I was doing door-to-door sales. Every door I had to knock to get a deal. Absolutely terrible, right? So for you, it's like it checked the boxes, but the biggest thing is like you made the connection between what MJ DeMarco talked about, owning assets and all of those things. And this just, you're like, yo, so why were you going to do the social media management, SMMA, blah, 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 whatever that's called? Like, what was the draw there? And why'd you decide not to do that?
So originally I was just gonna I wanted the laptop lifestyle of just, work from anywhere, be able to travel. And I didn't want to work an office job. But there's so many other things similar to that, but like the rank and rent is just a step up from that, how you own the assets and you save so much time. And I just thought that whether drop shipping, all the other things, affiliate marketing, like that, none of them compare to this.
Love it, dude. So for you, you wanted to make money online. So that's why like naturally, and all the kids, I feel like that's like a young guy's game. Like everyone thinks like managing social media is dope because like, oh, maybe I'll be an influencer or some shit like that. Right. Maybe not your case, but like social media is the game, right? We get social media. And then you realize like, oh, actually rank and rent is really where you own the asset and get to control, those kind of things. So anyone that's maybe watching this that doesn't even like, that's just kind of like scratching the surface with rank and rent, I think the most important thing when you're looking at a business model is looking at what do you want in 5 years? Like, what do you want money wise? How much money do you want to make? And what kind of lifestyle do you want? Because you can make $100,000 a month a lot of ways, right? You could technically make $100,000 a month doing social media marketing. However, I can't even imagine how many moving pieces. I can't even imagine how many client problems. I can't even imagine how much retention conversations there would be with a company that size doing social media management, on top of the fact that they got you by the balls. And if they want to cancel, they're going to cancel. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
anyway, yeah, that's cool, dude. I think it's cool that like at 22 years old, you're realizing, hey, I'm not going to go and just, get a job. Like most people that are 22, bro, they get their degree, they go pick up a job and they make just enough money to like buy like surfboard wax and go hang out with the girls at night. Like they don't care because their bills aren't that expensive. If they're making $3,000 a month, they're killing it. This is more of like a personal question, but what made it so that you at 22 already have figured out that this is what you want? I'm curious, is it how you were raised? Is it like some of the books you read or the people you were around? What was it?
I would say, my dad's like the regular 9 to 5. He's successful, but he did it the old fashioned way.
Which in
Um,
fairness to him, that was the OG way. That used to work.
that was the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say, reading that book was like a turning point in my life, honestly. And I just wanted to I didn't want to be a regular. I didn't want to live a regular life. I wanted to, like everyone else, I wanted to, put the work in now so I can enjoy I didn't want to work until I was 60. I wanted to, and a lot of people don't realize that. All my friends, most of them don't realize that in college. They're just, living out their college years. And like everyone says, like college years is the best time of your life. And I didn't want that to be true. I didn't want it to be, college and then downhill. I wanted to, keep ascending and succeeding.
I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's really cool, dude. And I had to write that down. Like I wrote down the book because I'm gonna go reread that book. I wrote MJ DeMarco because I forgot how cool that book is. I actually have it downstairs, like by our TV, like the decorations. My wife came and like swiped a bunch of my books. So I'm gonna go swipe it back and read it again. But no, that's dope, dude. Okay, so let's get into like some of the cool details here. So how many months, by the way, like when did you jump into my program? Was this like 2 months ago?
It was, I got the invoice today. It was March 30th.
March 30th. So it's July. So a couple months ago. Okay. So you, from January, February, March, for 3 months, you were kind of like getting your feet wet, whatever. Right. And did you ever get close to getting a deal? Did you even pitch any business owners before like we met or anything like that? Or did you just you were kind of just like checking things out?
I was kind of checking things out. I had like 2 sites that I was trying to rank, and I was never going to rank them with the courses I had, but I was just my plan was, rank on the side and get a regular 9 to 5 slowly. And then saw your group. I was like, I can sell something without having a site. It's dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of had the plan that most people probably watching this originally had, which is like, I'm going to go and rank, wait. And then as soon as they produce leads, then I'm going to go and actually turn them into customers. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you glad that some intervention happened? Right.
Yeah. I saw your 13 view YouTube video.
Hey, I'm surprised it had 13 views at the time. Let's be honest, bro. I just started throwing them up. They're absolute garbage. I'm like, well, by the way, I'm like a one take guy, one take and I toss it up. So, but yeah, dude, I'm glad you watched the 13 view video. Shout out to that video. Don't know which one it was, but I'm glad I made it because here you are. So tell us about your deal. Tell everyone about the deal you got. How much was it? And what was the contract length? What niche was it? And I won't make you share the city because you don't have to. So niche, monthly amount and contract?
It was concrete. It was 6 months for $350 a week and
Woo!
$400 a
I
month.
love it, dude. So 350 a week. That's a good first deal, dude. That's a good one to freaking cut your teeth on. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, tell me. So, first of all, congrats, bro. Like, there are people that are going to be watching this. There are people in this group. There are people that have been in the space for 5 years that have never gotten a deal. And there's some that have gotten a deal, but they think they got a deal, but they got a commission deal, which actually, sorry guys, that ain't a deal. Or they got a pay per lead deal. Again, sorry guys, that ain't a deal. This is a big boy deal. This is a flat fee deal. The credit card's going to be run every single week, rain or shine. And as long as you didn't oversell it, you are going to get paid. But you got to bring the heat so that you can renew in 6 months and roll them into another year. But that's a really, really solid deal to start with. So tell us a little bit about it. This is like a true pre-sale, right? Or was it a site you already have?
Yeah, pre-sale.
Okay, pre-sale, by the way, nice job going into concrete. I love it. I literally tell you the niches to go into. And luckily people like you are like, oh, he's done it. I'm just going to listen to him, and you just go and you make money. And other people are like, no, I'm going to go and try to do solar, and I'm going to go and do attorney. It's like, cool. Good luck. Right. So tell us about it, bro. Were you scared as hell, like making those first phone calls? Like, talk about that, because that's another question I'm going to ask you, but talk about those first couple calls, bro.
Yeah, so I had like 3 different Zoom posts in a different niche before this, so it wasn't my first time calling. Before my first calls, I was so scared.
Well, tell us about your first calls, because you didn't and that's another important thing, guys. He did 4 of these before he got a deal. So he kept putting in the work. He didn't stop after the 3rd one that he got all the way to the close, and then he just stopped. There's a lot of stuff to be talked about there, but talk about the very first calls that you made. Those are the ones I'm interested in. Not by the time you got this one, you were already kind of used to making calls. Tell me about those very first calls. Was it did you have to pump yourself up? Did you have to go smoke a bowl? What'd you do?
I was blasting music, had all the coffee. I ran through it 5 times. And I was shoot. And after every no, I would sit there for 5 minutes. I'm like, what did I say? What did I say? It's it was super slow process. And so that was one of the biggest hurdles, just not making the phone calls. But you have to realize, I was just being dumb. You're not selling everyone you call. You're trying to find, you're just checking someone off the list that isn't interested. There's going to be a guy that will take your free leads. Who gives free leads? You're just looking for that guy.
Yep.
So you're not have to just simple. The script is so simple. You just run through it. Say, I want to give you free leads, and if they want to grow, obviously there's pullbacks and stuff, but yeah, they'll take them.
I love it, dude. So those first couple calls, were you shaking? Were you just
oh yeah, I was stumbling through the script. I was stuttering. It was not good at all.
Dude, are you a sweater? Are you one of those people that starts sweating when you get nervous?
I get a little pit sweat sometimes.
little taco going on, a little taco game. Yeah, dude. I remember when I was doing door-to-door sales when I first started, I was always wearing my black shirts because I'm I can't be wearing the gray one, dude. I'm gonna be like Shaq, just rolling around looking like I played a basketball game. Dude, it's interesting about what a mind game it is. If you think about it, right? This phone that we have, and I got Facebook here pulled up, so I'm not going to grab my phone, but I guess I can. This phone that we have right here, it's a piece of plastic and glass, and we're so scared of it, right? And it's dude, you can make millions of dollars from this little device. Millions. That's no exaggeration. That's not clickbait. That's not whatever. You can make millions of dollars, and we're scared to death of it. It's super interesting. Why do you think why do you think you were scared of the phone? Do you think it's because you'd never done it? Were you worried that you were going to get rejected? What was your reason for being a little bit spooked by the phone? I think that's more common than people think, though.
It's a good question. Probably just being rejected. Just worry about being impolite and interrupting their day. And just also like I said, I thought it was first calls. I'm like, I'm selling it. I'm trying to sell everyone. And then when I would like not, they wouldn't say, yeah. I was like, did I just miss out on the guy that would pay for my leads because I messed it up? So I was like worried that if I didn't have it script down packed, like, Nick would have it mastered, like I would lose out on like a deal. But it's not, you're giving free leads. You don't have to be perfect. They'll if they want to grow, they'll take them.
It sounds like you've had that mindset shift though, because when you first start, you think you're selling. Really, all you're doing is you're finding.
Yeah.
Right. You're like you said, you are giving free leads. Like, come on. Like who these people, and we're calling people that already are paying for either Google Ads, Home Advisor, whatever, or we're trying to. It's like you're just trying to find those people. That's it. You're not trying to sell everybody. You're just like weeding through and giving them value up front. So when you have that mindset shift, it totally changes the game. I personally believe that. Like, I don't know about you, but so, okay. So just to recap, so I can make sure that we got this right. You pre-sold, meaning you did not have a website. You had a one-page landing page that was very basic. You pre-sold a deal that you are now making $350 per week. And it's on, are you just using Stripe like I taught you?
Stripe, yeah.
So he's using Stripe. It's just charging and you had no website and now you're taking the money and building out the site, blah, blah, blah. Awesome, dude. Did you think it was like even possible? Were you still a little bit doubtful of like, oh, can I really pre-sell something before I build it? Or you're like, oh, that makes sense? Or was there any doubts?
I mean, yeah, there was definitely some doubt. I mean, I'm one of the people that didn't have any organic leads to sell. And I've never ran in Google Ads, and like I was worried, just overthinking, like when you're given the free leads, like the time period between each lead, just like it would stop magically after like randomly after 2 weeks. I was just worried like about just the ad not producing consistently, but it was just me overthinking it. As long as you do the setup right, like set expectations, then and when you sell, the amount of leads you give, explain why, how many leads, explain why, the amount of leads that you're giving them, and the price, then it's all about setting expectations. Yeah.
I love it, bro. I love it. I was just curious if you had any of those doubts, because some people, I think they hear about pre-selling and they're like, yeah. That sounds like it's so fake. It's like, dude, I haven't not pre-sold a deal in a couple of years. Like, I do not build websites unless I have a credit card to build it. I ain't using my own money. Like, that's just my rule. So here's what I want to ask you. Okay. And then, or more just like talk about really quick is I'm a firm believer, and this is kind of what I put as the title of this video. I am a firm believer that, how everyone says, hey, you're like, hey, why are you going to college? And then it's like, well, I know it's kind of stupid. It's not really worth it, but I want to have a safety net, right? I want to have that safety net to fall back on. Dude, if I had a quarter for every time someone told me safety net, dude, I'd be stacked, right? Like I always hear that, right? Safety net. Okay. And I realized this after I did sales for a couple of years, and I started getting hit up on LinkedIn, and I started I started my first business, and although it failed, like I was able to go get clients on this business that failed. And I was like, holy crap, I have this really unique skill set. For those of you that are watching, that are considering college, that are in college, that maybe just finished college, or that whatever, even have a degree, I personally believe the greatest safety net you can develop is learning how to sell. Bar none. Because bro, if you can, like, what's your degree in, by the way? And if you tell me it's general studies, I'm going to knock you. Like, I'm going to punch this computer.
I mean, I did the safety net of college degrees, which is finance.
Beautiful. Okay. So you and there's 10,000 people, right?
Safety net, like they tell you finance is using everything.
Yeah.
Degree. I didn't learn anything.
I love it. It's okay. It's okay, right? Like you, the one thing you did learn is how to take orders, right? No, I'm kidding. But for real, like everyone sits there and goes, oh, like it's a good safety net. Okay. But now let's just say you went in and you started chasing your dreams and you were whatever. Like what was somebody that's in finance, like what's the ultimate dream? Like to work for some huge like investment banking, like what is the dream?
I mean, I was never, and I honestly just did finance because it was the safety net of the major. You could go into every business has numbers in finance, but I feel like, it's go work for Goldman or.
Yeah. Okay. So like Goldman or like Blackstone, something cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So then the thought process is, if I do that and I get fired, or I do that, doesn't work out, I can always fall back, or I go and try something. I can always fall back on my degree, right? But you think about it, not really, right? Because it's you and 10,000 other people in your graduating class in just the 3 states around you, or maybe even in Colorado, that have a finance degree. You are identical to everybody else. So on what planet is that a safety net? Like seriously, what kind of safety net is that? However, let me tell you this. If you know how to sell, okay, you not only could you go start your own gig at any time, because that's the number one thing that drives business is sales, but also, and I've said this before, if everything I've worked towards in my entire life went away today, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go get a job because I just need a job, like a 9-to-5, I would be willing to bet the $1 million that I didn't have, because it's all taken away from me hypothetically, right? But I'd be willing to bet any amount of money I could go and have 10 job offers lined up within a week or two. Like, and I'm not talking about just commission jobs. I'm talking about like salaried positions, because everybody's looking for sales guys, right? Like in my business, the last people I'm going to get rid of? My sales guys, because they're driving all the revenue, right? And you know what the number one thing people ask about? Hey, how do you get salespeople? How do you find a setter? How do you find a closer? It's like, that's like the most coveted job, or the coveted position that people are looking for, right? Not to do, but to hire. So my whole like spiel and my whole like rant is, if you want a safety net, and by the way, that's not even to mention if you're willing to suck it up and go do commission, because you know what, who's always hiring is every company is always hiring on commission. In fact, Drew, I'm hiring on commission right now, baby. And everybody watching this, I'm hiring on commission, because it's no risk to me, right? It's zero risk to me, period. So you want to talk about safety nets for those of you that are watching, those of you that are thinking about college, those of you that are in college and feel like you're wasting your time, you are, unless you're going to be some like specialist, whatever. But that's the safety net, man. Like I feel so secure. If everything went away today, I know I could get jobs. I know I could go start a business. I know I could go make money on commission tomorrow. It's like, dude, if all this went away, you know what I can do? I can go knock door to door. It's not going to be fun. It's hot, but guess what? I know how to make 6 figures like that. I will never not have money. I will never not have money.
Preach, brother.
That's it, bro. Like there's nothing, I just like, that's the point. And I think it's cool for you that like, even though you got the paper, which that's cool, whatever, you're still like, look, I know where that leads. I know that if I follow this path, I mean, here's the deal, right? Look at the people that have taken that path and went and did the McKinsey or did the whatever. Where are they at? And would you trade places with them? Is that where you want to be? And I bet the answer is no, right?
No, sir.
No, and you don't want to be wearing a tie that's literally choking you every single day. Like I'll wear a tie, but I'm going to choose to wear a tie, right? I'm not going to have somebody tell me when to show up, how to show up, when I can freaking take a shit, right? Like that's my game, right? That's my business. I'm a grown freaking man. And we literally, some people that are watching this, some people that will watch this, they're going to walk around and you are literally have another human being telling you when you can take a shit. Come on, man. Let's go. What you got one life and you're letting someone tell you when you take a shit? Come on. I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but come on. So anyway, dude, I'm proud of you, bro. Like I remember when we talked, I was like, I'll be honest. I was like, dude, this kid's young, but I like his energy. I like that he's like got the foresight to like see what's going on, but I knew you're young. And I was like, my biggest fear with you is I was like, I hope this kid doesn't get lost. And he like jumps in and he's like, oh, this is hard. And he starts going and hanging out with his buddies and like just pissing away his time smoking a bowl. Like that was I'm going to be honest, because I didn't know you that well. Right. And so that was my biggest fear, is that it's easy in your 20s, I feel like, to just go and waste your 20s and think, oh, I'll just figure out what I want to do in my 20s. And then in my 30s, I'm going to crush it. Right. Why not figure out what you want to do in your 20s and crush it? And then really make your freaking money in your 30s, and then your 40s, dude, like do whatever the hell you want. Right?
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So anything that you want to share, like I do want to ask you, was your close, when you got to the actual close of the deal that you got, this concrete deal, was it a difficult close? Was it like, hey, Amex or Visa and they gave you the card? Like, how did the close itself go?
Yeah, so it was pretty, if you watched the screencast, it was pretty smooth up to the end. And he was like, so he was in his car. He was about the road trip from Colorado to Mexico. He's like, he's like, I need money for that trip. It was a 2-week trip. And I set urgency. I said I had another meeting in an hour. So it was like, you can get back to me in a half hour. So he's like, yeah, I'll do that. He got back to me, and yeah, I was like, dude, I can't miss out on this opportunity. And I got the digits down. I was like so scared. I wrote it down wrong, like triple checked with them. Yeah. And then actually a week later, his credit card declined. And and so I tried to call him for like 2 days, and he called me back the day like in 3 days. He's like, dude, I've had no service in Mexico. I'm really sorry. Let
And
me
you're
give you,
thinking he's just sloughing you, right? At this point?
yeah, let me give you this new credit card. I apologize. So
That's dope.
good.
So the cool part about this whole thing that you're telling me is, first of all, you didn't do everything correctly, because I clearly tell you, hey, don't do it in a car. But guess what? Here's the beauty. You're not going to, sometimes you just can't catch these people at home. Like, obviously it's better if they're at home on a laptop, but guess what? I've closed people in their car too. So I'm not telling you that you can't, but like, you did that right there. That's wrong. But guess what? You still closed the deal, right? The other thing is that you did it right. You set urgency before, and you let them know, hey, I have other options. I have another appointment. So the objection of, let me think about it, you had already overcome it, and you'd already gotten him in a corner, so that when he said, hey, I got to think about it. You're like, well, what are you going to think about? You got 30 minutes. Right. However, if you would have waited until after he brought that up, it wouldn't have worked, because he would have been like, he'd have called your BS and been like, whatever, bro. You would have told me that before. Right. But because you did it, that's why I'm so big on, we already know the objections, like bring them up first. So all of you guys that are listening to all these sales guys that are like, when they say this, you say that. When they say that, you say this. Screw that. I already know the objection. I'm going after the objection. I ain't going to sit back and wait for it. I already know it's coming. So let's go take care of it before it even comes up. Right.
Yep.
Dude, what would you tell everybody out there that's in there? Let's first of all, anybody that's in their 20s, specifically to an age demographic first, anybody that's like in college, graduating college, thinking about college, early 20s, or maybe later, but they're like, hey, I'm getting the piece of paper for the safety net. What would you tell them?
I mean, you explained it. Like, it's not every year the value of your degree goes down, and will continue to go down. Supply and demand. There's more degrees out there, and it's just a requirement. Like, a degree doesn't even really mean much. And if you really want a safety net, learn how to sell, and this will teach you how to sell. And
dude,
a lot of money. I don't know.
ask me how many times I've looked at somebody's resume and to look for their degree, dude. Zero. Like 0 times as I've hired people. Now, have I hired some dingleberries? Yes. Am I perfect at hiring? No. But dude, I don't even look at that. I'm like, do you have this skill set? Okay, let's do a trial run and prove it to me. Like, that's how I hire. I don't care. Like, I could care less if you learned it from a course, if you learned it on the job, if you learned it out of college. If you have one, I don't care, but it's not a deal breaker. And then, so that's really good advice for anyone that's thinking about it. And secondly, anybody that's in rank and rent that is looking and hunting for their first deal, what would you change about the first 3 months that you 3-4 months where you kind of pissing around with rank and rent, waiting for it to rank, that probably never will, because you maybe probably chose the niche wrong, whatever, or maybe the city. What would you have changed if you knew what you knew today and you could go back to January 1st, what would you change? How would you attack it?
I would try to pre-sell, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, like, what, like, duh. But what within that? Like, would you go into different niches? Would you take more time choosing the city? Would you like, what's the first thing that stands out? Like, if I go to January 1st, yes, I'd pre-sell, but like, then what would you do? Like, how would you attack it?
I would make sure I had a due diligence process that wasn't too long, but is like, streamlined and, works. And then I would just get on the phone, and the part, like, finding the part that makes the sale the easiest is finding the right business owner to work with. And I was like, the guy I sold, I assumed when I offered him leads, he was like, yeah, dude, I'm so hungry to grow. I'm super hungry. I want to grow. And then, so from that point, like, I'm sending him free leads, and finding that, like, making the phone calls to find the right business owner is the biggest thing. I think. Yeah.
It is. I always like, if you can find the right person to work with, then doing the deal is easy. But it's all about finding the right person. And I say that every person that gets on the phone with me, the first thing I say is I say, hey, here's how this is going to go. I'm not going to pitch you. I'm going to ask you questions, and I'm literally trying to find out if this is a good fit. If it's a good fit, we're doing a deal, because you wouldn't be on here if you didn't want to do a deal. If it's not a good fit, this is going to take about 5 minutes. I'm getting my ass off the call because I can't get my time back. So does that sound cool? Awesome. That's what I do right in the beginning. I just let them know. And then it takes the pressure off, and they're like, okay, cool. And I'm like, obviously I want to make it a fit, but I've been on calls and I could just tell it's not a good fit, and I'm just not going to do it. Like, the scary part is you can sell anybody when you could tweak the numbers to sell anybody. Right. However, if you're looking to build something big, if you're looking to build something that's lasting, if you're looking to build something that's like sexy, you have to be working with people that you can work with for 10 years, that you're not going to have to have all this turnover. So it is about finding the right person, because ultimately, even if you get them the leads, but they don't know how to close, or they can't sell, or you can't stand them, dude, it sucks, man. We're like, this is your business. So I totally agree with that. Like, it's so much more about finding the right partnership, the right business owner, than it is about like selling to everybody. Cause I used to think that's what it was, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, what's your goal? What's your goal for 2022? By the end, December 31st, I send you this video. Whatever you're about to tell me, you better be careful, because I'm going to send it to you. What are you going to be at by the end? You're at $1,400 a month right now. What are you going to be at? By the way, when you're 22 and you're making $1,400 a month that's freaking like, and it's not completely like, obviously you have your ads because you pre-sold it, but once you get it ranked, let's call it $1,000 of net, right? Dude, you do 2 more of those deals, as with the amount of bills you have, and like, you don't have kids, like, you're basically balling, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get to 10K, dude, you're freaking ripping down cash. Cause you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's like, go, you can shoot, dude. You can go wear, you just should wear straight Louis, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. It's more, I got the Harlow merch on for the
there we go. Shout out. Yeah.
I would, my standard that I'm gonna hit 10K by December. When I first joined, I just wrote down 21K, so it was more than 20. And I didn't want to be like basic, but I'm gonna hit 10K, and I'll have a standard 10K. My goal is 21K, just to stick with what I said when I first joined.
10K is your junkie goal. Like, if you don't hit it, you're like looking for a needle for drugs, right? Like, I always compare it to like the junkies, right? When they don't have drugs, they find drugs. You're going to get to 10K, you're not going to breathe. That's your standard. I love that. That's your standard. And then like your reach goal is 21. So we, like, without question, I expect you to be at 10K. Deal? Bro, thanks for being on. It's fun, dude. It's super fun for me to watch people go from like, not really sure, like, but I think I want to do this, but I'm a little nervous. And they take the leap of faith. They come in, they do the damn thing, and they're freaking making money. That makes me happy, dude. So congrats. And I'm proud of you, bro.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, guys, I'm out. Appreciate it. See ya.